Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the first wave of Gashapon medals from Ultraman Z. Well, I should say most of the first wave. There were 3 in this wave that I do not have included here, and that is 0, 7, and Leo. And those are because the deluxe versions of those came with the Z Riser itself. I never understand why they take the medals that come with the Henshin device and include them in the first wave of Candy Toy and the first wave of Gashapon, because I feel like, why are you buying these, gimmick items if you're not buying the Henshin device? So why would I possibly need Gashapon or Candy Toy versions of the DX gimmick items you gave me with the Henshin device? That's always boggled my mind. We just saw it with Zenkaidra as well. But anyway, here are the 5 new, exclusive medals to the first wave of Gashapon medals for Z. So we have Ultraman Jonius, Ultraman Agel, Ultraman Strong Corona 0, Ultraman Great, and then the sparkly glitter version of Ultraman 7. So these were the 5 medals that were exclusive to the first wave GP01. Like I said, those other 3, we've already seen them when I did the review of the Z Riser, so I'm not going to do them again here. But I wanted to at least show these off. Now you might also be asking yourself, first wave of Gashapon medals, that happened almost a year ago. What are you doing with these now? Well, if you're new to Ultraman Z, the first 2 Gashapon waves were just ridiculously hard to come by. I don't really know why. I don't know if they underproduced them or they just significantly, undervalued or what's the word I'm looking for here? Misjudged, underestimated. That's the word I'm trying to come up with. Underestimated the appeal of this show. But they were just sought after, could not find them. They were nowhere to be found, at least for a reasonable price. I mean, the aftermarket went nuts with them, $80 a set, things like that, and I wasn't paying that. So luckily, eventually, they realized how sought after they were, and they decided to reproduce them. But they didn't just, put them back out in Gashapon machines. They did a premium Bandai lottery system called Gashapon Best or something like that. It was like a new wave called Best, and it was basically just all the sought after, the exclusive ones from 1 and 2 put into a lottery system, and you would go onto the premium Bandai website and you would buy 10 medals or however many you wanted, but you couldn't pick which ones you wanted. It was still like you were a virtual Gashapon machine. And so you would say, I don't know, give me 10. And then you'd randomly get 10. Now, the reason this is nice is it gave people a lot of duplicates, which they then turned into stores like Mandarake or sold on Yahoo Japan auctions. So for people who wanted to just buy a full set, it became possible again. And so I got these from Mandarake for a pretty reasonable price. I think somewhere in the area of 600 to 700 yen a medal. Obviously, Glitter 7 over here was a little bit more expensive, but they were affordable, and it was nice to get them at a decent price. So I could complete that hole in my collection, because obviously I've been looking for these for quite some time. So we'll take a look at these individually a little bit closer up before we jump into hearing some sounds with the Z Riser. So here is Jonius, and I believe this is the only animated Ultraman to date. I could be wrong about that, but he's always been a pretty cool design. I like him a lot. Next up we have Agel, which I have to admit I'm not too familiar with. Although I will say his vest design or crest, whatever you'd like to call that, reminds me of Gaia. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of connection there. Next up we have Strong Corona 0, which is just a form for 0. Now you can actually make this with some other metals that we already have. So this will unfortunately not really be used in anything. Here is Ultraman Great. And then here is the glitter version of 7. So pretty cool. Nice set of medals. Now, unfortunately, as I was saying earlier, most of them do not have combinations in the Z Riser. Agel has 1 or 2, which of course we'll take a look at. All the rest I'll just run through on their own, because unfortunately they're not used for any combinations. 7 is used for combinations, but I've already shown them off with the regular 7 medal. Glitter 7, I'm not going to go and insert into those combinations, but we'll just take a look at those on their own. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Z Riser. Alright, so go ahead and put in the hotkey card. So, some interesting sound effects there. And also, I kind of just like the way he says, Ultraman Z. Great! Oh, you know what? I have to hold this down. So, not super exciting on the sound effect there. But I do kind of like the sound effect from when it's, you know, doing its transformation. And plus, you know, it's just kind of a nice pick me up, you know? It's like, hey, how's this review going so far? Oh, sweet of you to say. Alright, let me slide this back. So next up we will try Glitter 7. So while I do appreciate that it knows the difference and it doesn't just say 7, it does actually say 7 glitter version. Kind of a lackluster sound effect there for the transformation. Okay, even weirder sound effect. So I'm not going to do Aggle on his own because we actually have some combinations we can do here. So the first thing we're going to do is Gaia and Aggle. So Gaia Spring version, apparently. Also, I just want to point out that I've been saying Aggle. The Z-Riser actually says a ghoul. You know, it's kind of written as Agaru, so I don't know what I'm actually supposed to call this guy. A ghoul sounds kind of funny to me, but I guess that's what they want. Alright, so next up we have Orb Origin, a ghoul, and Belial. So we get a new form of orb there. So that's pretty much it for new sound effects. Really, we only get 2 new forms that we can make. The rest of it I just kind of run through on their own. But I do appreciate that it at least knows the difference between 7 and Glitter 7, so that's kind of fun. So this is a decent set of medals, a lot of fun characters in this wave, but not so much in the playability or functionality department. And that really just stands to reason. Like, it really confuses me why this assortment was the first Gashapon set to be released, because you would think when you're first laying out the gimmick for people, you'd want to pack in a bunch of different combinations that are possible, and then maybe towards the end you kind of throw in the characters that don't really add to more combinations or things like that. I feel like you'd want to grab people at first, or at least grab people a little bit more. I mean, there's really only one medal out of this set, aside from the 3 that already came with the Z Riser and you already have used to make combinations. Aggles, or a ghoul, however you say his name, he's the only one here that actually can make some combinations. And I'm trying to think. The medals that he combines with came out later in the series, so if you were buying this like day one as it came out, there wasn't really much you could do with this set, and that just seems really odd to me that this is the foot you would lead with. But I guess it worked because these things were in such crazy demand, nobody could find them. So what do I know? Obviously, whatever their system was, it worked. But I mean, this is a set that I feel like if you can get it for a reasonable price and you want to try to complete all your medals, go ahead and pick it up. There's no one in this set that I feel like you would 100% be missing out on. There's no super iconic Ultraman here that you absolutely need to have. And like I said, the playability, the functionality as far as combinations is pretty sparse. So it's going to be up to you. I think they're a nice set of medals. I like the characters here. They're just not super imperative as far as functionality and making other combos. So it's going to be up to you if you decide you need them or not. But if you're like me and you're trying to collect all of them, then of course you're going to want to go ahead and pick them up. And at least right now, that's not so difficult to do. They are no longer the crazy scarce commodity they once were. You can head over to Mandarake, Yahoo Japan Auctions, things like that, and just kind of, use their search functionality to, and you'll find a whole host of listings for these. These are pretty prevalent now because, like I said, because people had to go buy them blindly from Premium Bandai, they ended up with a lot of doubles. And so there's a lot of doubles out there on the secondary market now, which just made all the prices drop, which is a lucky break for me. So, and hopefully you, if you're in the market for them. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.